Dude, Grimace was a bad guy. That's where he got his name. He had 4 arms, he was scaly, and he stole kids' milkshakes. Now you know. Today I learned that Pop Rocks, Tang, and Cool Whip were all invented by one person, Dr. William A. Mitchell. So that's a cool fact on its own that was submitted by a real stand-up guy 14 days ago. 60,000 upvotes, though. I thought it was just cool that he made all of those, right? He's not a one-trick pony or a flash in the pan. What's the other word? What's the other word for one-hit wonder, right? He actually made a bunch of really cool stuff, and as we'll find out in a second, he was really smart on top of that. It wasn't just lucky. It's like he had some engineering skills, some technicality behind it, not just kind of a food scientist, if you will. Anyway, first comment by Slightly Broken Egg. If you mix the three together, you get his final invention, his real invention. Just be careful. Once you see what it does, your life will never be the same. Okay, whatever. C. Groomer says Pop Tang Whip. Let's look at a couple other comments. S-Dog, 1981. He has 70 patents under his name. His Pop Rocks were not used for 14 years before they went on the market. That is correct. They were intended for something else, I believe. His daughter, Cheryl Mitchell, was a pioneer in creating plant-based milks. That's correct. His daughter actually created, I believe it was Rice Dream milk. I could be wrong, but we'll find out about that in a second. Inhabits the Bed said, so he was one of the great 20th century inventors of stuff you can put in your body by eating it and you won't die, but not really food. Brilliant. Come on, dude. Cool Whip is food. Tang. I can't really speak to Tang. I drank it once, I think. And then Pop Rocks. Yeah, it's candy. It's got sugar. Whatever. He also created the process that allowed quick setting Jell-O, and his daughter created the main methods now used to industrially produce non-dairy milks. Quite the food science dynasty. That's correct. And that actually brings me to the article that I read about him, which was what this was linking to in Smithsonian Magazine. Who did that? I already said that, right? Yeah, a real stand-up guy. Smithsonian Mag, all about this guy. And I'm not going to read the entire thing. Well, let me give it a once-over and see if I should. I mean, we do full-on Wikipedia reads over here. Maybe I'll actually just read this article. The scientist behind some of our favorite junk foods. William A. Mitchell invented Cool Whip, Pop Rocks, Tang, and other 20th century treats. Hong Kong is one. I'm sorry, this was actually written by Emily Machar. Hope I got your name right. A innovation correspondent for Smithsonian Mag. Hong Kong is one of the world's greatest food cities, yet every so often I find myself traveling across town searching for a delicacy that's hard to find amidst the dim sum shops and exquisite French restaurants. Cool Whip. Say what you will, but there's nothing like a bowl of cherry Jell-O topped with fluffy raft of faux whipped cream on a hot night. I'll say what I will right now. I don't like Jell-O. I do like Cool Whip, but I don't like Jell-O. I don't like jelly things. I like, this is as far as I'll go. I'll eat peach jelly rings, and I'll even eat gummy bears. I'm all about Sour Patch Kids. Dude, this is it. This is the difference. I'm curious if you guys like gummy bears, and if you like Sour Patch Kids. I like Sour Patch Kids. I'm not a fan of gummy bears. They're too gummy. It's like I'm eating rubber. I'm not into it. But the Sour Patch Kid consistency, it's like soft, and it doesn't fight you back. I feel like when I'm eating a gummy bear, it's like I'm eating an octopus or something, and it's trying to fight back with its rubberiness. I think I'm beating a dead horse. You see where I'm going with this, but I do like the whipped cream. I'm going to continue with the article now. William A. Mitchell, in honor of National Junk Food Day on July 21st, we're taking a look at Mitchell's work, which falls squarely into America's mid-century love affair with convenience foods. Mitchell was a Midwestern farm boy, born in rural Minnesota in 1911. This is actually pretty interesting to me. As a teenager, he ran the sugar crystallization tanks for the American Sugar Beet Company on the overnight shift, sleeping 2 hours before heading to high school. Now, it just glossed over that, all right? But that, in my estimation, is a really important part of his life. The fact that as a teenager, he ran the sugar crystallization tanks for the American Sugar Beet Company. All right, then it just goes on to talk about his childhood, young adulthood. He worked as a carpenter to earn his tuition to Cotner College in Lincoln, Nebraska, and hopped on a train to get there. He went on to get a graduate degree in chemistry at the University of Nebraska. As a young chemist working at the Agricultural Experiment Station in Lincoln, he was badly burned in a lab explosion. After recovering, he went to work at General Foods at the start of World War II. There he developed a substitute for tapioca, which was in short supply due to conflicts in the Pacific. The combination of starches and gelatin kept hungry soldiers satisfied. They nicknamed the substance Mitchell's Mud, apparently in appreciation. Now, I did click on this substitute for tapioca, and it leads to a full-on patent. It's the invention. I think I might have to, I don't know if I can put this on the screen. Yeah, I can. And you can see it's a full-on process patent, a manufacturing patent with all of the schematics, the machines, the process, everything that should be in there. And dude, I read it. These are just the diagrams, but then I actually read the patent text as well. And it blew me away because, look, you hear food scientist or you hear maybe flavorist or whatever, you're like, all right, cool, I'm good at tasting things too, right? That's what I feel. That's what I think. It turns out this guy was really smart. You look at this stuff and yeah, I know he had a chemistry degree, but then you look at this stuff and you realize he had to pick up on all sorts of other disciplines. You know, there's manufacturing engineering knowledge in here, right? In order to come up with the actual process. And then he does use his chemistry as well by creating the actual tapioca substitute. Now, that's what was provocative to me about this is it's not just hey, Mitchell, we need a tapioca substitute. What do you got? And then he's like, well, if I mash down these bananas, it's something like tapioca. It's not taking some other food and just like making it another state, if you will. This dude full on he refined a process for extracting starch from cereal grains, and they were already able to do it in small quantity, but they would destroy most of it. And this guy actually figured out with all of this stuff that you see right here, how to extract it in large quantity and then create that thing called Mitchell's Mud. A very, 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 very smart dude. It just painted a new picture for me as to what a food scientist actually does. And also, doubling back, his childhood helped him out when he ran the sugar crystallization mill, because I'll bet that gave him an edge where he actually learned about the manufacturing methods in general. He got an early start in his food processing career, literally as a kid, when he found out about big machines that he would then incorporate into his later designs. I just thought that was really cool. Moving on. You still here? Ask Reddit, which cheap and mass-produced... I can't say this line, huh? Which cheap and mass-produced item is stupendously well engineered? Now, this was posted by Gourmet Guy, 53,000 upvotes. So here's the thing, dude. When you see this, I don't know. You see these every once in a while if you're like me, and right away you say, oh, rubber bands, right? Rubber bands, S tier. So our sticky notes, maybe not as S tier as rubber bands, but still up there. Paper clips, things like that, right? Cheap, mass-produced, stupendously well-engineered. Each of those things that I just said do exactly what they're supposed to do. Springs. Dude, springs are stupendously well-engineered of any size. If we're talking about springs that act as shocks or little springs that go into your pen, your ballpoint pen, right? Pen is a stupendously good well-engineered thing, for example, right? When I got here 12 days ago, the first comment was a toilet. Okay, it wasn't this. I'm going to upvote this. I really like Bic products, lighters, ballpoint pens, razor blades. They're all very robust despite being cheap, mass-produced plastic items. Yeah, dude, right on. This is what it was supposed to be. This is what I saw before. Toilets. I've been a plumber 20 years and very little has changed or needed to. Minimal upkeep, cheap and easy repair, very long life. But here's the thing. This is the issue that I have with this. Are toilets cheap? I don't think toilets are cheap. Dude, let's find out. Are toilets cheap? I'm asking. I literally have Googled. Dude, that ain't cheap. Look at that right away. That's the thing that comes up. $227. Home Depot. Let's go to Home Depot and see how much a toilet is, right? Toilets by shape. Can I just have cost, please? No, I don't want you to know where I am. Okay. 189. There's one for $90, but it's no ballpoint pen. It's no $1.50, right? How much are pens nowadays? Did I just totally overshoot that? Yeah, it's got to be a cutoff of like $3 or $4 in my opinion. Otherwise, you're just talking about assemblies. Oh, a house. A house is exceptionally well engineered, and depending on who you are, they're pretty cheap. You know what I'm saying? Not to be an asshole, but where does it stop? A car, a bicycle, dude. You can get bikes for less than $100. Bikes. Stupendously well engineered, cheap, and mass produced, and they transport you places, right? You see where I'm coming from. And then this person too, even though it's a great one, Mr. Barraclough says the intermodal shipping container, aka the Connex box. And I hate to do this, but like that's the shipping container homes is the same thing, right? They're made of the same. Intermodal shipping container is just like a shipping container that you make a shipping container home out of. It's the same thing, right? It is. I'm an idiot. There are millions of the damn things all over the world in use every single day. They are stackable, can be locked together, attached readily to ships, truck trailer frames, and rail cars, and can bear enormous loads. The cost of their manufacture compared to their economic use value over their useful lives is next to nothing. Again, dude, that's not the fucking question. Sorry, I'm passionate about this. The question was cheap and stupendously well engineered. Now you're saying the cost of their manufacture compared to their economic use value over their useful lives is next to nothing. Stop it. You can say that with everything. Literally everything. It's like, oh, after 1,000 years, that TV really paid for itself. Now, I know the TV is not going to last 1,000 years. You get where I'm coming from. You understand why I'm upset. Cheap. Let's see. Get zip tie. You get an upvote. Zip ties are incredible. Larry B78. Zip ties, such a simple piece of plastic, but so versatile. I have one of the old-fashioned chain link fences. Some of the fasteners on the middle poles broke, and in high winds, the fence was swaying like crazy. A half dozen zip ties on 3 posts, and it doesn't budge, and nobody even knows they're there. Yeah. So I was driving back to Vegas a couple months ago, and the dustpan, I better not have been bumping this goddamn mic the whole time, I swear. Anyway, driving back from Vegas, and the dustpan on the bottom of my car started to rip off at the front, and I heard it when I was going down the 15 or whatever that freeway is that connects Vegas and LA. And it was like really scraping. It was really, really bad. So I pull into Eddie World. They had a handyman that hooked me up with 3 zip ties. I was able to literally fasten the dust shield from the bottom of my car to the chassis, and I made it back, and they're still on there. Zip ties are amazing, dude. And yeah, the guy had them readily available because evidently I was like the 10th person that happened to that week. It's just a common occurrence. They should pretty much sell zip ties with dustpans is what I'm trying to say. And now you're definitely asleep. One more and then I'll go on. A whistle. A whistle is a super well engineered thing. Sure, for a few cents you can be heard in the middle of nowhere for nearly a mile. Much louder than your voice. Great if you're lost. Upvote you. Oh, I'm sorry, I got upvote matches. Matches are the shit. All of these should be at the top. Hey, am I going to be a dick if I downvote? I'm doing it. I'm doing it, dude. I can't preach and not practice it. I got to downvote toilets. Why can I not talk? I have to downvote toilets. No, dude. I'm sorry. They're too expensive. They're not cheap. They're not a part of this. And your shipping container, even though I really want to make a shipping container house, I'm downvoting you because I know they're like $2,000, dude. They're no Bic pen. Who else? Does anyone else need to be downvoted? No. Zip tie. You got the upvote zip tie. And then whistle, you're good. And the lighter, you also do. Yeah, lighters are super good. Flints, lighters, whatever. You already got 23,000 upvotes. So yeah, ball bearings. That's, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Soda, beer cans, the engineering guy did a thing on them. One more and we're out of here. Not exactly cheap, but I'm impressed. I can have a ceiling fan run on high for 15 years straight and not have it explode on me. Yeah, cool. Ceiling fans are awesome. And guess what? They're not cheap. You even said it. Not exactly cheap. Then why is it in this fucking conversation? downvote you, and we're moving on. Now, ask Reddit, what currently legal thing do you expect to be illegal in the next 20 years? Did I say illegal? Illegal. What currently legal thing do you expect to be illegal in the next 20 years? You know what I'm going to do before I do that? I'm going to upvote each post that I was actually at. I'm not just going to use all of these without giving credit to the OP. You get an upvote and Smithsonian Mag. Okay. And you get an upvote and you get an upvote. Going back, what currently legal thing do you expect to be illegal in the next 20 years? AM Runner posted that. I don't know. Currently legal thing. Currently legal. Do you expect to be illegal in the next? I don't know what country we're talking about. So are we talking about global? Something having to do with increasing, climate garbage. That's the technical term for it. So whatever decreases climate garbage, that's going to be pushed. And whatever increases the climate garbage is going to have laws in place. So that will be illegal, right? Anyway, you're welcome for the boring answer. Cleon42 says, we're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Dude, that would be great. Seriously, okay, this is what you're saying what I was going to say. Seriously, the entire cell spam industry needs to go. Everything from scam calls. Please don't donate to your local police association, in quotes, to those obnoxious political SMS texts. Yeah, very, very, very annoying. I'm definitely upvoting you. And all of you listening to this would also, if you have a cell phone. How crazy. Someone needs to make a meme. The dude, the rent is too damn high meme. It needs to be the ratio of spam calls versus my actual friend calls is too damn high. Jazz like hand says, please God, social media algorithms that encourage repeat use and other such addiction engineering. I don't know. I guess so. Look, here's the thing. I got off of Facebook years ago because I just didn't like how I felt on it. I didn't like the things I was saying on it, oddly enough. I didn't necessarily I didn't like seeing how it made certain people look on it. Sometimes less is more. And that's especially in my case. I definitely have friends that probably wish I wasn't even doing this damn channel. But having said that, there were just sides of people I didn't really need to see, so I didn't care. So I got off of, social media in general. So I feel like it's up to the person to maybe not use whatever the private or public company in that case has to offer. I could be totally speaking out of my ass there. There was that, what is the movie that, it was really popular like last year. Not just a movie, but a documentary also. Not The Social Network. Come on, someone help me out. It was the thing about, Rogan was talking about a documentary on how pretty much this was the sentiment. The Social Dilemma. That was it. The Social Dilemma. And I didn't actually watch it, but I just heard crazy shit about it, suggesting, yeah, they're programming you to be addicted to it and everything. But fuck, man, is it their fault or is it the person's fault? And I'm actually posing that as an actual question. I'm not saying that like, oh, is it their fault or is it their fault or is it your fault? Because like, you could say there could be a similar parallel with the opium crisis, right? And in that case, yeah, the heads, the people, the manufacturers of that, I believe they were just found guilty to be aiding the crisis, right? So maybe it depends. I don't know. I think we talked enough about that actually. Privacy will be illegal, you think? Currently, it has some very limited protections. Would not surprise me if in the future corporations manage to make it actually illegal to try to hide your information from their exploitation. I understand your concern. I don't think it's going to be illegal because that's when people revolt. Charities spending less than 5% of the money they are donated to the cause. Donated to the cause due to big overheads. I'm giving you an upvote, and Susan G. Komen is probably going to be like the number one that people are talking about, right? One of the biggest disappointments was learning how little the Wounded Warrior Project actually spends on veterans. Most goes to overhead, then they donate to other organizations with their own overhead. And lastly, they spend just enough on vets to drum up PR to get more donations. I was posted by Good Dubin to know, not me. I don't know anything about that. Take what you will from that. I just know, Charity Navigator, is it? I think it's Charity Navigator, watchdog site that will report how much is actually spent that goes to the charity versus what goes to the executives and all that kind of shit. And I believe the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation was like the biggest perpetrator of giving nothing to the foundation itself, virtually, allegedly, and keeping everything for themselves. Moving on, data privacy violations. You just said what they said. Child marriage. Let's go ahead and now if I upvote this, I'm upvoting it to be illegal, right? To be clear, this is an upvote to make that illegal. Not yes to child marriage. Let's move on. Today I learned scientists at the Parkes Radio Telescope in Australia spent 17 years trying to identify powerful but extremely short radio bursts that would appear at seemingly random intervals. In 2015, they finally identified the cause, a microwave oven at the facility being opened prematurely. I just thought that was kind of funny. I'm not even going to dig into this. I saw it earlier. I do think it's cool, though. There's the empirical stuff. You're trying to figure out a problem, and it's just something you would never think, That actually did happen. I was a DirecTV call center guy for a while, like 15 years ago, over in Vegas, and we couldn't figure out why a person was losing their reception every weekend. And long story short, a person across the street and up the hill was coming home and parking a vehicle there and actually blocking their way. Happy and relieved to get off of that call. That series of calls, actually. It took about 3 or 4 attempts to figure out a car was parking and blocking the signal of that person every other weekend or every weekend, whatever it is. Okay, moving on. Posted by Hey YCH1, 6,000 upvotes roughly. What celebrities are genuine psychopaths? And this post was removed by the mods. I don't know why, but what I wanted to show people, and this is a little messed up for me to show, I think, because he's such a legend in aerospace. Oh my God, look at all the awards it got ever since. But Charles Lindbergh. All right. I don't know how many Lindbergh heads are listening to this. That's not even a thing. But in the case you are a big Charles Lindbergh fan, you might want to turn back now. It turns out he's a complete sociopath, a psychopath, sociopath, take your pick. I'm going to actually go ahead and read what PM Meteor Daleks said. It's Dalek, right? Not Dalek? Dalek. Old school, but Charles Lindbergh. From everything I've read, he showed zero empathy. The closest thing he ever came to joy was in pulling sadistic pranks, such as almost killing a friend by putting kerosene in his water bottle, or once hiding his baby in a closet and pretending he was kidnapped, delighting in watching his wife and the nanny be hysterical and cry for hours. And yes, that's the same baby who was later kidnapped, and why people speculate Lindbergh accidentally killed him when pulling the prank again. He would also trip that same baby when he was learning to walk and leave him outside in an exclosed playpen alone to toughen him up. This is the first time I've ever seen the word exclosed. Is that correct? Maybe enclosed, exclosed. Today I learned playpen alone to toughen him up. When asked to identify his baby's mangled body, he had no reaction, was so unemotional, he shocked the police, who were trying to keep it together themselves, by asking for a meat skewer so he could open the baby's mouth and check his teeth. I told you it was going to get dark, dude. He was not only a literal Nazi, but also remorselessly cheated on his wife by having 2 other secret families complete with children with German sisters. I had to reread what that said the first time around. So he got with these 2 German sisters and made families with each of them in addition to his actual public family. No doubt his sociopathy is one of the reasons why he was such a good pilot. He was able to concentrate, focus, and was impervious to danger. Now, that last line, first of all, I'll upvote you because that's just fascinating, especially if you didn't cut and paste that. You remember that from memory or whatever. Remembered that from memory. That's my addition. No doubt his sociopathy is one of the reasons why he was such a good pilot. He was able to concentrate, focus, and was impervious to danger. I think that is an opinion, though. I am fully at a loss for the word that I'm looking for. There's no doubt in my mind that you can be super good at something, a hyper genius, and be a decent guy at the same time, or lady, or whatever. Take your pick. You don't have to be a sociopath, cheating double life Nazi who, well, puts your kid in danger in order to be an ace pilot. There's plenty of ace pilots out there. Ask Buzz Aldrin if he ever, did any of that kind of shit. Or Chuck Yeager. Okay, let's move on. Last one. We're going to leave on something that, look, okay, how do I approach this? Because I was just going to say this was hysterical. It's awful, but dude, wait for the first comment, okay? I'm going to put this, I'm going to tell you what this is first. You're probably already reading it. It's posted by _I'm_dad, I'm dad, whatever, 51,000 upvotes. Today I learned that a suicidal teen from the UK used several fake online personas to convince his best mate to kill him. He survived the attack, but became the first person in UK history to be charged with inciting their own murder. So you hear that and you're like, that's crazy. It's kind of out of a show, and that kid is an idiot, right? And all sorts of questions. You ask all sorts of questions, but primarily you're just like, yeah, that's kind of funny. But then check out this comment. The first okay, that's not the first comment. Things have changed in the last 12 days. I apologize. But Noob V14 did say, a few random online people tell me to kill my best friend. I'm probably going to say no. It's right here. Oh my God, this is it. I'm dad. The OP actually posted the first comment. Footage captured of the alley entrance showed that no one else had entered it except John and Mark. I guess those are the people involved. Okay, Mark was now a suspect, and after he was shown the CCTV footage, revealed the truth that he was the one who stabbed John. His motive? He'd been asked to do so by a British spy mistress called Janet Dobinson, who he'd been communicating with via an internet chat room. If he completed his mission, he'd become a member of the British Secret Service, receive £80 million, meet Tony Blair, the then PM, the Queen, and receive sexual favors from Janet, a 44-year-old married woman who lived a double life for Queen and country. Mark had even been given a code name, 47695, and been provided with an abort code, 6969, should the mission be canceled. Dude, and then I got the Quay says, I hate to judge, but Mark is a fucking Muppet. And you get an upvote for that. That's crazy. It's just the whole thing is so nuts. And that was the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's it. Let me know if you guys want me to read anything. I'll try to put more of these out. Sorry, I've been way too focused on guitar shit, to be perfectly honest with you, and it takes a lot to put any kind of guitar stuff out. I went down a guitar rabbit hole and got caught up with is it pronounced Polyphia? They have that new song, Playing Gods, just so good. And then whenever I hear new kind of any new songs, any new guitar stuff especially, then it like lights an ass under my fire, start practicing again. But in order to like make guitar videos, you got to do them, and then I have to actually tab it out in Guitar Pro. I got to take the video of each, I got to edit the stuff together. It's just a pain in the ass. I want to go back to just reading Reddit for a little while. I'm going to chill with this kind of stuff like this. The time flew by. I could go for longer if we wanted to. Let me see how long have we actually been doing. I don't know how long you guys want me to go for, to be perfectly honest. Should I limit these to 20 minutes? Okay, it says I've been going for like roughly 35 minutes, 30 minutes. I'll keep these short for now. Let me know if you want long or short. You like 10-minute blasts? You like 20-minute videos? You want me to talk for 3 fucking hours? You want me to just be in the room with you all day reading Reddit? I'll do it. but you got to say so. I'm not just going to do it if no one's going to listen, but I'll chill with you. All right, I'm done. I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Bye-bye.